All right, I'm here with Kecoughtan basketball coach Willie Gause as the Warriors win it by a count of 84-63 of the Phoebus Phantoms to move to 7-2 overall. Coach, first quarter here at Decay, your team knows how to come out and guns a-blazing, if you will, 21 points, and led by Justin Bass, who finishes up with 35 points, hit his first 7 threes tonight. You guys get in transition and you really thrive that way, and you're hard to defend when you get going.
Yeah, that's kind of the fabric of who we are. We've learned to do what we do well, so we practice on shooting a lot. We got a lot of great shooters, and so they know when to get in their spots and how to execute. So we want to get the ball up the floor as quick as we can, get to our spots, share the ball, swing the ball, make it move sideline to sideline, and shoot in rhythm shots.
I mentioned to you in pregame that, last year's team, you scored, it seemed like 80 points every time out. You won 20 straight games. You had DJ Campbell at the forefront of your attack, who's now at Western Carolina. And you really aren't missing a beat in terms of scoring at a high clip. Granted, I know you lost that first game again this year to Woodside, but tell me about just kind of the maturation of the others that have stepped up into bigger roles, like a Bass, like a Jaden Pace, and others who have taken on bigger leadership and responsibilities now that DJ's gone.
Well, I think it's just a testament to, one, a great coaching staff, building a great culture. Number two is the attributes of playing with a great player, because he made everyone around him better. And so we're starting to see the fruits of his leadership labor, and also the culture that his coaching staff has built here. And so it's just understanding the blueprint and just follow the blueprint, and things will work out for you.
When Bass and Pace and even Deshaun Orman are hitting shots the way they are, I mean, it feels like their confidence is like the lead's not going to shrink. I mean, it might go from 17 to 11, but you're not going to let it get to a point where you lose control of the game. Is that kind of how you feel when you're at home that way, or?
Yes. That's how we feel. Again, if we get to the place where we are doing what we do and what we're supposed to do, then we'll be fine. And so even if the shots don't fall, it's understanding how to take great shots. And I think that's what happens a lot of times in basketball. Kids are taking bad shots, and because they're taking bad shots, they're not falling. But our guys have learned to take the shots that they're supposed to take when they're supposed to take it, in the flow of the offense.
What are you worried about with this team? Because you are 7-2 right now. Your only 2 losses have been to Woodside and Mitchell, who are like yourself, a giant in the PD, Class 5, which is a gauntlet, and you've won 27 of the last 31 games dating back to last year. What do you worry about? Is it rebounding? Is it defense? What are the things you kind of pinpoint with your group that you're trying to improve on and sharpen up on?
Well, I think really the only thing that I would kind of be leery about is just the experience factor going down to the playoffs. But again, it's the culture here, so we have 5 guys that have playoff experience. They have a little chip on their shoulder because, starting out, everybody thought Kecoughtan was rebuilding. Nobody thought about us, and so, other than you, because you're our friend. But, nobody else thought about us. And so, that's the only thing, if anything, I would worry about. But again, we know the fabric, we know the culture, we've been there before, so we kind of know what to do and definitely what not to do.
Well, and lastly, you don't know who you'll see come playoff time, whether it is a Woodside or a Menchville, again, in Norview and Maury, whoever it is in 5B, which is arguably the toughest region in the state. But you win 20 in a row last year. You have a great season, but for some it's viewed as, oh my goodness, they didn't get to states to do this. As a coach, I'm curious to get your kids' take on this. What is kind of your feeling on this year, how this team is maybe different? And it seems like you're different from the game 1 to now. And is there less pressure? How have you kind of handled that? Because there are expectations, yet maybe not the expectations that others have. How's kind of your view of the big picture, if you will?
Well, what we learned that it's a game. And they say any given Sunday, any given night, the ball can bounce the wrong way. And so we value every moment. We value every moment that we have to play the game. And on the flip side, we know that that's all we need is one game. So even if we're, not the, the quote-unquote head honchos like we were last year with the target on our back, we can be that other team that can be a spoiler. And so what we've learned is to focus on what we do well and learn from our mistakes. I mean, we still have that taste in our mouth from last year. But even though that we didn't focus on the numbers, we focused on the dash and what we were able to do during the dash. And we did some great things, and we're starting to see the fruits of that labor this year because all of these guys grew, all of these guys got more confident, more mature, and that's how we're able to just, keep it rolling,
Dashing towards the playoffs, Coach Gause. I love the win for the fans. Thank you so much. Congrats.
Man, listen, we appreciate you, brother.
It. Absolutely. You bet. All right, good deal.